Welcome back, folks, to another gear review. Today we're going to take a look at the Fesley A8 key digital piano. Folks over there were generous enough to send me this to take a review on it. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. Without any further ado, let's jump in. So right here, I have the box open in front of me. We're going to do sort of a unboxing as well. And they sent this nice sort of purple cloth. Let's take a look at this. So here we have sort of the manual of the keyboard, right? So we're going to keep this manual. And then we have this thing right here. Ooh, beautiful. So I guess this is a keyboard covering. So when you're not using a keyboard, you can cover it with this. So this is thoughtful. And it also aesthetic. It's pretty beautiful. So if you have this in like your living room, you can, use this as a nice decoration as well. So this is purple. And now we have the power adapter. So nice power adapter, standard power adapter, nothing fancy. I'm gonna put that over here. But then they also send you a little headphone with it so you can practice. So right out the gate, if you didn't have any headphone and you want to be able to practice in silence, you can use this. So you don't have to go purchase a new headphone. Simple headphone, nothing fancy. And they have the 8-inch connector for it. So this is a 1/4-inch connector. This is the 8-inch. So if you didn't have a connector, you could do this. Or if you have a more, a better headphone, quality headphone, and you want to use it, but you didn't have the adapter, you could use it with the adapter, because this is the part that goes into the keyboard. So that's cool. And over here we have another box, and I'm guessing this is the sustain pedal. So it comes with a nice 3-prong sustain pedal. They come with their own sustain pedal, so that's cool. And we're going to take a look at this as well. We're going to connect all this stuff, and so you guys can take a listen. So those are the things that came on the inside. Now I'm going to do take out the keyboard out of the package and set it up, and then we'll dive into the different features. All right, so stay tuned. All right, welcome back. Now we have the keyboard out of the box. We got all the cords and the connections up. The Fesley Deluxe Edition. We're going to take a look at the keyboard. Nice keyboard. It's fairly light, so I like that about it. Very light keyboard, and it's weighted, right? If you've been following my channel for a while, you know that one of the main features I recommend everybody should get in a keyboard is weighted keys. Weighted keys helps with the dexterity and strengthening the fingers. And it just feels better under the finger, And so this keyboard has that. Now, after going through, I tested the keyboard before I jumped on camera. I would recommend this is a solid beginner keyboard. So if you're a beginner just starting out looking for an inexpensive keyboard, I would certainly recommend this one. And the link to the description to the keyboard, the link to the keyboards in the description of the video, you can see the price, $200. Very reasonable for what you're getting at the beginner's level. Another feature I recommend that everybody get in a keyboard is 88 keys. So you get comfortable from right out the gate as a beginner, getting comfortable moving across the keyboard and utilizing different registers and octaves. So that's good. I like the fact that with the Fesley, all the functions you need is right here. You don't have to be doing any crazy sort of second function, hold this, press that, shift this. It is fairly easy to use, very user-friendly. I mean, the manual right here, this is the user manual. right? It starts right here on page 4. So we got page 4, page 5, page 6, page 7, page 8. That's the entire manual. Pretty straightforward. Right out the gate, you'll be able to get this keyboard up and running within minutes. So I like that simplicity. And again, that's why I said this is really designed for beginners. So let's start with the different buttons going from sort of, well, first let's start with the piano sound. So right here, when you power on your piano, you have a piano sound right out the gate. Standard grand. And it doesn't sound bad at all. Right? Very easy to play. Light keys, even though it is weighted, but the keys bounce back fast under the finger. So it makes things like runs super easy to do. Once you get control over your runs, that is. Now, it comes with, and I'm just looking in the manual here to refresh my memory. It comes with about 128 different sounds and effects. So that's pretty good, right? So I'm not going to go through all of these. You can definitely check it out when you get the keyboard. But it comes with all the standard things that you would want in your keyboard. Multiple piano sounds, some EPs, and then goes through all the orchestral sounds, right? Comes with bass, all of that stuff. You can check it out. Strings, wind, brass, all of that stuff. It also comes with rhythms and stuff, and we'll talk about that. So now that you know the different sounds and all of that stuff. Now, right here, first button we're going to look at, it says stop and start, and that's just the rhythm. So if I press that, I get a little beat going. So it's just a nice, cool backing track. I recommend, I'm not a big fan of the metronome in terms of this click, clock. I like to do things to some form of a groove in the rhythm track. So if you're practicing scales, right? You can practice to that. Now, it also comes with a lot of different rhythm patterns. So looking at the manual here again, it comes with 100 different rhythm patterns. So you can really find stuff here to play around with. I'm going to jump to, I see 28 here. We got a pop bossa nova. And to change the beat, all you got to do, just make sure you select rhythm right here. So if I select rhythm, then I come over here, you're going to see a select plus minus. Click the plus button. In fact, I just press and hold. And I just wait until I see it goes up to 28. And then I have my pop basso rhythm. So if I press play now, start. Ooh, it's just a groove. So pretty cool. Now, if you're playing the beat and you're saying, man, it's too fast, how do I slow it down? So again, once you click on rhythm, actually you're going to click on tempo. So I click tempo, you see tempo lights up. And then I come down here and let's click the minus sign. And if you press and hold, then it goes fast. Right? So that's a cool. Now what if you say, I like that rhythm, I like that beat, I like that tempo, but I don't want to use the piano, come back over here and you're going to click tone, and tone's how you change your voice. So when I click tone, I'm going to skip up. So I got to peep over so I can see the name of the beat because it's not visible from where I sit. So I'm going to peep over and I want, let's go with this Rhodes piano. Yeah, sounds a little bit more mellow. So I like that right there. I like that basso beat. Now, if we go beside the start button, you see chord. What does chord do? So that gives you an accompaniment feature. So if I click on chord, everything beyond, I believe, this F, when I play a chord, it gives me an accompanimental. Check it out. Oh, I got to put my rhythm on as well. And I got to click start. Here we go. It gives you a nice accompaniment. So that you can improvise with that right hand. So I think that's a really cool feature to help you practice improvisation towards some form. So you don't have to get too crazy worrying about the chord changes because you got an accompaniment doing that for you, and you can do the accompaniment. Now, beside chord, you have the word sync. And what that does, it allows you to start everything right out the gate. So right now, nothing is playing. If I click on sync, once I press my left hand, rhythm and everything starts going. Right? So if you're doing a little mini party at your house and you want to cue up your rhythm and everything before you start, the sync button helps you to start in time. So you don't have to then press the button and then play your chord. So you get the sync going and decide, get your hand position ready, and you start to play. Dominant seventh. So that's what the sync does. Very nice. Now fill-ins is to just give you drum fill. So again, if you got the beat going and I press fill, I'm not a fan of the fill, to be honest. It doesn't feel like it's in time, and I can't seem to press it at a time to get the fill right. So if I'm gonna fill. So there's a weird little thing going on there that I wasn't able to figure out what that is, but that's what the filling does. Now tempo, like I said, helps you to slow down or speed down your beat. So once you click tempo, you can come over here and click the select plus or minus, and that slows or speed things up for you. Beside tempo, you see ACC volume or ACC vol. That means accompaniment volume. Because if you have, let me just turn off chord. If you got your Rhodes EP right now going, right? And that's controlled by this main volume right here. That's what controls your main volume. But if you want your accompaniment volume to be separate, if you want to have it at a different volume, lower or higher than your piano, you use this volume. So when I press that right there, and I'm just going to click start. So now I can come over here and I can turn it all the way up. I think that's the max I can go right now, which is fairly loud on my side. And then I'm going to go soft, right? Turn it back up. So that's the accompaniment volume. And the rhythm, again, just allows you to change the different beats. And you can consult your manual for that to see what beats you want to check out. Now, jumping on the other side of the piano, you've been seeing that the select is where we change different variables. And there's a plus or minus to increase or decrease. Tone, beside the select, is how you change the different voice of the instrument. So right now, I'm using a Rhodes piano. And if I want to go back to the grand, I just click it to go back to 1. I'm going to keep it on this Rhodes piano for a while. I like that. Now, beside that, you have the word trans, or this button right here, and that just stands the shorten for transposed. And if you've been following me for a while, you know I'm not a big fan of transpose. I think it's a scary, slippery slope for especially beginners. And transpose just means you don't have to learn the other key. So if you learn the key of C and someone's singing the key of F, and you don't know how to play in the key of F, you can use the transpose button. So the keyboard transposes to the key of F while you're still playing in C. I think it makes musicians lazy and definitely hold you back on your skill. But that rants for another video. That's what the transpose does, and most modern keyboard nowadays have that feature. I recommend don't even mess with it, just learn all the keys. Besides that, you have beat, and beat's just basically metronome, right? So you click that, you get a little beat going. And if you want to put in an accent, you go press it again, and that gives you a 2/4 time signature, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. And if you want 3, you press it again. 2, 3, 2, 3. And if you want 4, you press it again. 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. And when you press it again, it turns off. So it gives you those 3 different type of time signature metronome. Now then you have, beside beat, you have split. And split isn't in the way that you're probably accustomed to it. For me, when I see split, I think of I can put one voice down here and a different voice up here. In this keyboard, the Fesley, the split basically means it gives you 2 different registers, 2 of the same registers. So let me demonstrate. When I click split, if I play the C, so this C and this C, there we go. So this C and this C is the same. You hear? Even though they're multiple registers apart. And then here is that. This is this. So what that means, this sort of split feature works well for duets. So if you're playing with your teacher, or if you got 2 kids at home learning piano and they want to play a little duet, splitting the keyboard this way helps. So I can come up here and do. And then the other person will be down on this end. So you can have 2 keyboard players at the 2 different ends of the piano playing something duet style. So that's how that split feature works. And besides that, you have a drum kit. So if you click on drum kits, Now you get all these different drum features. So you can practice keyboard drumming. Over here you have a demo, and that just comes with some pre-recorded classical songs and stuff like that. And if you want to see the different types of songs in the demo, you come over here and you look at song list. And so the first one, it's the Minuet Waltz, right? So if I press demo, now you can slow that down as well. So if you're one of those people that likes to learn these things purely by ear, you can slow it down. So I'm going to click on tempo, and I'm going to slow it down. And so you can slow it down all the way and learn it by ear that way. And it comes with 88 different types of songs. So that's cool. You can check that out. Besides the demo, you have record. And that allows you to record yourself. So when I hit the record button here, I get the metronome going automatically, but then my sync button is on. So I'm going to turn the metronome off. And then I'm going to just play. And then when you finish, just click replay. And so you can record yourself. You can also record yourself and the beats. So if you want to record yourself playing to one of these beats, you can. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to click record. I'm going to turn off this metronome. I'm not sure why the metronome comes on. I don't need that. And then I'm going to click my sync button. And then I'm going to click also my rhythm button. And then I'm going to start. Let's see how that goes. So hey. And so now, I totally forgot I was recording. So if I go back and play with the record button, so that's the idea. So we just went through all the buttons right there, and that's all the features of the Fesley A8 Key Deluxe Edition keyboard. Now let's talk about some of the connections. Right here to my left, there's two connections. There's two quarter inch jack inputs, and that simply means if you're practicing and you don't want to disturb anyone, you can plug that right there. And there's two of them, so if you want to practice with someone else, like a bassist or a guitarist, they can plug in here as well. It also comes with a USB port. So you can essentially probably transfer stuff or use that along with any USB devices. I think it might be, you probably can use it for charging purposes as well. At the back of the keyboard, it comes with some connections as well. And so you have a USB A to USB B, or USB B, it's weird saying that, USB A to USB B connection. And that's a connection you can use to transfer MIDI data. So if you want to be able to play and record MIDI data into a DAW, you can use that port. But if you already have a MIDI cable, it also comes with MIDI cable connections at the back. So there's two ways you can transfer MIDI data while playing, through that USB A to USB B connection, or using the MIDI cable connection. Then you're going to have, beside that, you're going to see an input and an output. Input is for if you want to utilize these onboard speakers. Right here you have two onboard stereo speakers. So if you have a backing track going like from your computer or a stereo or something, and you want to route that audio to come through your own keyboard speakers, you use the input connection. And the output is if you're sending your audio, keyboard audio, to an amplifier, or you're just recording audio into your keyboard. And then besides that, you have the power adapter. So those are all the different connections of the Fesley keyboard. Overall, I think this is a very solid keyboard for beginners. And like I said, the price is very inexpensive. There is a link in the description where you can see the keyboard on Amazon. You can see the pricing and all of that great stuff. If you're a beginner looking for an inexperienced board that has a lot of features that you can definitely use, especially the accompanimental and the drum pattern stuff, I think is crucial to help you practice timing and playing in sort of a band setting. This has all of that right here. You don't have to get any additional tool for that. I also like the fact that it has a quick record feature, because part of how we grow and develop as a pianist, keyboardist, is to be able to hear back ourselves and make critique in real time. This allows you to do that, especially if you don't have recording software, you don't have that set up, or you're just not tech savvy enough to, can't be bothered to figure that stuff out. So that's it. The Fesley Deluxe Edition, great beginner keyboard. Check it out. Link is in the description. All right. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed week. Keep listening, keep singing, keep practicing, and we'll talk soon.